Oh, now we're live. This time I know it. We're live, guys. You're here in the warehouse. I don't know. But you're gonna find out. Come and check us out. Patty's Pop-Ups. We got the auction coming up. Got the cabinets of glory. Shelves.
You sure you're live?
You know? Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
Really. This time, I'm gonna let it all go, guys. No take backs. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Okay, we're not here to do that. We're here to get this pool table dealt with so that when y'all have your pickups this weekend, and you know who you are, because you follow the link over here or somewhere in the great verse. We want to have this set up, ready to play, have some fun, and
Alright, awesome. Good feed too.
that's it.
Okay, sorry, I was pessimistic about if this sensei over here was actually signed in or not. But
What?
hey, after a few errors, I had to double check, bro.
Do you have a big head?
I do have a big fucking.
Wow, if that fits you, that's yours.
That's my hair. No, it's not that big. Oh, yeah, it kind of fits.
Will you take that? Look at what it says underneath of it.
I'm not a big hat kind of man. It's
Yeah, but
Bailey McCollum. Oh, it says Bailey too.
You. That hat kind of really does something for me about you.
This should be like a wedding hat, eh?
It's like it's a good.
I don't know.
I think if you like formed it a bit and really wore it in and kind
I
of.
feel like it because my head's already so fucking big. I feel like this just highlights how big my head is. I'm contemplating it'd be a good gag for while we're streaming though. I'll wear a cowboy hat.
I've had that hat for so long, and it's a really nice hat, but it's just I've never found somebody with it.
Big enough? Yeah, thank you. I used to get bullied in high school about it. In a fun way. I'm not going woe is me. I used to have this one girl, shout out to Leia, used to chase me around with a tape measure. And she'd be
to measure your head?
Yeah, to measure my head. And all the homies, they call me Big Head. I'd just be Big Head.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, no, it's
bring
fine.
that
That was a lighthearted share. That's a tease.
This is where you always have to be careful, people. We all have sensitive histories, and you never know.
You never know who's got
That's why it's just all about understanding, communication. Don't judge, lest you be judged.
It's true.
Just level the slate and lay the felt.
You did bring a staple gun, right? If not, I threw mine in my car just in case.
I have a staple gun.
Alright.
So to start off, alright, you guys want to do the walk around? I'm sure you do. Look at this beauty. This 3-piece slate. Yeah, it's like 1.25 inches thick.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a nice 5 by 9, a little bit bigger table. So, it's perfect to work on. It's huge, you can lay out your lot. But it's also going to be a pool table. So now we got to pull it apart. We're going to pull these apart here. So we're just going to start with this centerpiece.
And leveling it?
And just making sure it's on all its lines and marked, and we'll measure from like that it's centered there, and we'll screw that, and then we'll do these. And then they'll all be lightly screwed.
Okay.
And then we'll adjust it with the shims until we get it to the level that we like.
Okay.
And then we got to do that all the way along and underneath on the rails. It's a bit of a process.
Yeah.
Just to get that to like this, you can feel
That there's a bit of a...
Yeah, that there should be none. And we'll also clean up those edges. So we can just start by pulling this off the center. And those are heavy slates. I think we can go a little bit further. Yeah, just like there. And we'll do that on this side too. get a measuring tape here. And see, so we're going to be measuring this distance. So there are also some staples here. I don't have a staple for.
Very industrial staple remover.
Isn't this what they use? It's the professional pool. That didn't even work. Fucker. Oh, there we go. So yeah, something around, I think, like measuring that. And then we'll put some screws in. What do you think? Shall we?
Yeah, sure. I'm just paying attention to how you film and also the. So what are we measuring? That's.
So we're measuring basically the edge distance from here to here and the distance of the overlap. But I'm like looking at the way this was before.
Yeah, and this one seems to be odd, but this one's dead on this side. So that's what's tripping me out. That's what I'm kind of.
Let's move it back a bit.
Like to the right?
Yeah, to your right. Yeah. Right, so you should be able to see that marker, I think, because they would have done it like that.
Yeah, and I was flat on it earlier, and now.
Right, so now bring yours towards it. Like that, so you can still see
Pretty
it.
much bang on, yeah.
And that looks right on this side too.
I'm off on this one, so maybe does that mean the thing's kind of like slightly angled like this?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So I'm slightly.
So hold on, I'm gonna bring this back out so that we're getting a. This is why where you could have like multiple
Angles. That's why our dual cam setup is a good idea because we can have.
So here's what's your overlap on that side?
Like how far off am I?
Yeah. You're over here.
I got like half an inch roughly, probably a little bit more.
Okay, so I think so it's got to go your way a bit.
Yeah, I see this side. I have like a nut on this side.
I think that's straight.
That's looking better. It is looking way more centered on both sides. I would say 2 centimeters. 1.5. I'm off. I'm angled.
Alright, so that's 7/8 there. Let me try this one.
I didn't even consider that there's room for it to shift diagonally. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's got to be square in so many different ways. So.
Do you have a speed square anywhere?
Well, kind of, I think. You just gotta
Wiggle?
wiggle it. Yeah.
So we're trying to wiggle to get this side out.
Well, I've got 7/8 and here. Oh yeah. So that makes sense. So that's gonna go. What's your overlap there now? Still like nothing?
Better. I'm at 3/4 of an inch.
What is the width of this? It's 54.
But this one I'm like.
That's 52 1/4.
So about an inch over here now.
So that's 1 3/4. So it's about 7/8 difference.
So you need a little give on this. You need to go that way a little bit.
And
A little bit. I'm trying to give it baby nudges.
yeah, that's good. Right there. Hold on.
Yep, stopped. It feels better, but I'm a little off.
A little bit more. This. so that corner should go this way a bit. Okay.
That looks like a little bit too big of a shift.
Yeah. Now bring it forward, both of us together on the front.
On the front?
Yeah.
A little too far, or like a millimeter or two. So I'm pulling it this way.
This is,
Oh wait, yep.
so this is still like 7/8, a little bit less. So it does have to go your way on that back end.
So
Let me take my phone out of my pocket here.
this is also just, I'm following you, I'm getting distracted.
Yeah.
Take it on my.
It's a tight fit.
Because if it's like, obviously you don't want like a whole 1/8 of an inch, but if it's like a few millimeters off, don't the rails cover the slight?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get it roughly just with the rails. It's like the way that these square join up, right? And these are gonna lock in. They, like that sort of, whatever minute, if it's off like that, it'll exaggerate so that over the 8 feet,
Following.
it'll be worse. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out how this really even does straighten out, right? Because if you're just keeping really tab of these two of the overhang, so what is your measurement there?
So it looks like we got low again. I'm at just under 3/4 of an inch. No,
Okay.
it looked pretty much bang on.
Right, so you need another 1/8 of an inch, because we should each have 7/8.
Okay, then I need, just a little bit more.
Hold on, 7, 4. Oh shit, that's not just.
Because I'm at about 7/8 on this side, yeah.
I'm also getting this feeling like, see how these aren't touching? Like almost I could be yanking this together, and then this being.
Like the only other thing I noticed too is like it's got this mark too that I think was supposed to be a cheater guide.
Mm-hmm.
That shows that we're straight if this is.
That shows that connects to that, and etc. Right? So those, it's the right order for the boards.
Oh, that's all it means? Oh, I'm overthinking it? I thought that might mean if the mark lines up, that means we've got it back straight again.
Well, it definitely, yeah, if the mark lines up, then it's straight. It's.
So then, based on this one being shorter, we got a diagonal shimmy a little bit again, because this needs to sit. This one should be good.
Right, this needs to shift a lot.
This, oh, we're going in now?
No, I was just saying to. Wait, you're talking about this line?
Yeah, because this is off, but I'm at 7/8 right now.
You're at 7/8.
So this one was too short, right? Yeah, this one's at 3/4 inch, so that means this kind of gotta sit. We gotta pull it this way, and then we gotta go full lateral.
Right. I guess because I'm feeling like this table isn't square, and so by trying to measure these, like the table is somehow.
Okay, so then how do I'm following? Yes. Okay. So then, in essence, wouldn't it be about making sure that just all the slates are square with each other rather than square with the table?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm gonna try this to see if that's 7/8 on my side here. I'm gonna put a screw in it.
Oh, and then that would help with the diagonal pivots
And that's
too.
going to help it to hold, and then we'll see if we junk the table a bit.
Yeah, that would make more sense, because then we won't have as much give on both sides anymore.
And let's
Be
see.
careful with that impact drill. Okay, good.
So those are the old poles. We're going into the old hole. Is this as thrilling for you guys as it is for us?
Yeah. Definitely interesting to some people. I would love to chop this into a YouTube video after. That would be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Smash some tins. I haven't heard that one before.
What?
Way story. Just he was like, let me know when it's best for you guys to smash some tins. I'm like, I like that one. Sounds like we're gonna do too much chewing tobacco. But yeah, I think you're right. If you're feeling that one is good, then either way, I think drilling into that one, because then that allows us to diagonally pivot the piece a lot better without having a fucking.
And I'm going to tell you, truth of my thoughts is that all three of these are the wrong way. Like that.
Why?
Because the screw holes aren't long enough.
The screw holes look lined up on my side.
Yeah.
Like it's a diagonal input here.
Right, yeah, so this one just doesn't seem like if this is on, then it doesn't seem like it's on. I kind of just want to catch the old screw hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Right, so I'm like, oh, are these not?
It's not even look like they were in that deep, eh?
Yeah, they don't go in that deep, I think, because they're so angled. Huge ass gauge.
That's some huge gauge and no hole. It was crazy.
But I don't think there's any scenario
Fuck.
where this plays out for that effort.
Like I'm lined up on this side.
With that hole?
Yeah, yeah. I can see the hole through it. Roughly, he needs to come over a bit, but you can see the damage from it.
Right. And that's like, it's like they're close, but that just makes me think.
Because this side's still off, so it would be with that shimmy to the 2 millimeters to the left, it would be on. Right about there, right there. Yeah, it's,
And
yeah.
this is
it's on.
super duper off. But
Jesus. Well, that's why I'm thinking like we find one that's lined up, and then we can pivot the rest of the piece diagonally accordingly. Because then if this is off now and that's on, that means it needs to be pushed. And it does, you can see it, yeah, it needs to pivot diagonal.
but see, like this is just so far off of this mark. Maybe that was a different, right? It's like when this shifts, it makes, for some reason, makes me feel like this middle piece just needs to be schwunk. If it didn't weigh 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's.
Like if you could just schwunk it. If that makes some sort of difference.
Or that's what I'm processing. If you give me a second, I'm just trying to
No.
consider that.
It's.
Show me a little bit. There could be a way to tell this. There's marks on everything else.
I mean, it just says a head here, and I didn't really see it say head anywhere else.
Where does it say head?
Here. Right, so that's the head. Set P would. It might say something underneath it, but.
1, 2, 2. The numbers on your side are lined up, like you.
Right, but they could be.
Those are. It should be, yeah.
They could be lined up.
So you're saying this side is just totally off.
No.
It doesn't look that far off.
You just kind of when they're all. It's like I just yeah.
I mean, if it'll make you feel better, we could try to spin them, but I think we're gonna run into the same issue.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And is that just a table or is that a whack?
Table probably
like
out
the
of
base,
whack.
I mean.
Yeah, probably.
And we just get this slate set up. Yeah.
Interesting dilemma.
Right?
I'm just thinking of like other materials, and it just seems like I'm stuck on that. Like we get the one side, the one corner square where we want it, tack it in, and then we can shimmy it to fit the rest. Right? Because our biggest issue as we were fucking around is because as we're trying to pull it this way, we're shifting it diagonally. So I think if we get the one lined up exactly where we know we want it, tack it in, should be easier to like pivot the piece.
Because that's going to slightly fold itself.
Slightly.
As a relatively.
Relatively, yeah.
Time to do a little vacuum up there. Trusted handy vac. I mean, that's
Can't believe the thing works. Okay, then I'm just gonna get my book out while you're fucking around with that. Unless you want me to scrape the other side too.
I'd rather do that before I start vacuuming.
Let's do it. It's like they almost use drywall, but what is this?
Bongo.
Oh, yeah. Definitely Bongo.
Yeah, the fact that it just says Bailey right there, it's like, come on.
Yeah. Spell wrong, no, spell wrong.
I feel like, yeah, if
Not
you just
nearly
like,
as Scottish with that.
if you really kind of crumpled up the edges a bit and made it a little bit more broken in and like,
It'll be a fun bit for
Interesting.
stream. I'll wear a cowboy hat on stream.
I think you could even, like in 20 years, that's going to be a really valuable hat. It's going to be like Willie Nelson's guitar, you know?
Yeah. The Bailey hat, as
Bailey.
seen on warehouse streams with the WHER.
Yeah. Where question marks noted a little bit on that side.
Because you're not worried too much about the top layer. I'm just taking off the thick shit, right?
Yeah. I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm doing ever. It's mostly just the way I intuit stuff. It's like, yeah, right? So I'm always happy to hear other people's input. Because otherwise I'm just making it up. Despite how confident I sound, I have no clue what I'm doing, guys. So.
Well, the truth of the world is most people don't know what the fuck they're doing, and everyone's just lying, and the difference is whether you're honorable or not as you do it.
Yeah.
Especially as a communication specialist, right? That's the big difference. If you get a PR consultant and they tell you they know how the internet works, don't fucking hire them. You can have your opinions on how things should be done, but at the end of the day, nobody knows.
I do.
Okay, I'm being nitpicky, but the big chunks are off. I can be detailed. The painter is coming out. So these were the cracks. They used Bondo to fill it. We have beeswax this time. And then you hear us arguing about the pilot holes. It's because you see these marks here, and these guys have to line up to there. But each time we try to shift it, we're kind of like twisting it diagonally by accident. So that's the to be rotated, i.e. if that end should be the head versus this one. But if I had to gamble, I think Monsieur Patty is correct. And I just think this is probably off. How long did it sit around? It's probably warped and not square on the bottom, if I had to estimate.
Yeah.
There you go, caught up.
If there were more of us, then I'd say 100% we should just swivel these. For some reason, I feel really convinced of that.
If you feel really convinced that was
can make.
that was the part it was easiest to flip them once we had them flat, so I think we could do that if you want. It was manageable. It was the turning them over that was fucking too heavy.
Just
So let's hope
yeah, I don't
Throw it
really
on my
want to.
back.
I'm trying to be sure that is even a possibility. What is it? Just in the holes in there? Like, do those look slightly?
I do think it's about getting
The
one
table
side exactly
actually
where you
square.
want it, and then getting the one corner perfectly secure, and then we jiggle it to make sure it's square, because the base probably isn't square.
I'm a
And
little
this is
weary of if it's too much pressure here and we accidentally move it too much, that you could
That's what I would just tack
crack
I
the
think
slate.
we just really don't, and we try to, I was pushing
Let's
with
do it.
my hip.
Let's
rather
do
than
it.
pulling.
We
Speaking
need,
of that, your impact, yeah, okay, good.
we need a really big. This is like a screw bit size that I didn't really expect to have to deal with. If you guys want
One
to
of
see,
your old clunky ones had.
it was
I think it was
like
in
a
your
number 4 Roberts.
drill bag. I think you had one big enough. They had a screwdriver in your drill bag that I think had the big Roberts head as well.
Okay, I'll check that. And if you maybe in my other kit.
I think. That up. Yeah, complicated one stream.
Bro, bring that out here. Is this mist in the air right now? Come feel this. Come check it out.
What?
It's like there's this crazy mist in the air.
Probably coming from the lake. Let's see. Oh shit! We have a fog.
What the heck? I guess maybe you can't see it that well.
That big temperature change over the lake then.
Huh.
Watch the lights on the way.
Good one.
Yeah, some cold front moved over the lake.
open up the trunk. And you can grab the tool bag.
Gotcha.
Well, I think this is about to die, so I'm on the last percent. So guys, just know we're gonna do this. We're gonna solve it.
Yeah. It will happen.
It's gonna be like, we're gonna do this, one of those, like, you look at it now from here, and then it's like, bam, and then it's just magic.